and then Leah Sue after that.
Hi, I've lived in Sunnyvale for 20 years, and I will tell you personally, the plane noise has changed, and it's not just the weather, and we know that, and I thank Jim for the information. Having said that, though, the pain is so bad that Sunnyvale is starting to organize. I know of 4 noise groups that have already formed, one of which has 460 members, another that has 150 members, and there are more than that. In addition, there was a Sunnyvale petition that was started about the South Flow operations, and it had over 1,000 signatures in 1 week. So we've got a big problem here. And now I sit in this meeting, and I'd like to work with you guys, but I sit in this meeting and I hear growth, growth, growth. Well, that's a big problem for us underneath this flight path, isn't it? Because we had on October 30th at Zorsa approximately 200 flights fly over or near that waypoint. What are we talking about in the near future? 500 or 600 SJC flights flying over on South Flow? So what I'm going to propose is that we have some sort of a roundtable that is formed with citizens and SJC officials so that we can talk together and solve this problem together. I'm sure a bunch of smart people together can solve this, but we have a problem, and you can see what's happening here. With all these groups starting to form, there's a big problem occurring. So I think we need to kind of mitigate or do something here together. Thank you.
So I live in Sunnyvale. I've lived over 10 years and never had an issue with airplane noise. That has all changed. Now the planes are consolidated on a narrow path, flying low, almost directly over my house at significantly increased frequency, sometimes every 3 to 5 minutes. The noise from them is unbearable. Inside the house, windows closed, TV on, and I cannot block out the noise. My sleep is now dependent on SJC curfew hours. We do not know the exact changes the flight paths were most likely directed by the FAA and include changes to using RNAV. However, the concentrated flights we are seeing over Sunnyvale is consistent with the narrowing flight seen at Waypoint Zorsa starting in 2015 in the graph provided by SJC. We do know that the instrumental approach over Sunnyvale for runway 12 has changed. The new approach is steeper, faster, and comes to a lower altitude at Waypoint Zorsa in Sunnyvale. We have been told the changes are due to the weather. The weather is not the cause of the increase in noise. This issue needs to be further analyzed to understand the impact of NextGen and other changes on the dramatic increase in noise from SJC flights over Sunnyvale residents. Hearing the expected growth for SJC is very concerning as a Sunnyvale resident. We have no representation in the growth, and there is no monitoring of noise impacts over Sunnyvale neighborhoods, nor noise mitigation plans in place. San Jose is profiting at our expense.
Hi, my name is Leah Sue. I moved in Sunnyvale 7 years ago, and I used to like airplanes. When I see airplane, oh, it looks good, and now I hate it because so often it's very frequently, and it's come up very early, like 6 a.m., and it's very late and after 1 a.m. And it's really affect our sleeping, and also when I go to a yard and it's so noisy, I couldn't concentrate or just enjoy the moment, peaceful moment. So I really I would like you to consider people living underneath and think about how to make this peaceful and everybody happy again. Thank you.
Robert, Holbrook, and Olive Wayne.
Good evening, everybody. So I'm also one of the Sunnyvale residents. I live in Sunnyvale for 8 years. Like all the folks here, we are suffering. I am suffering the excessive noise recently has happened to us. So one thing I want to point out is, yeah, you guys have the complaint number, but there's a lot of people. They are suffering the noise. They don't know what to do with it. They don't know what is causing this. I talked to some folks. They don't know why is this change. Why all of a sudden a peace town now come to be a sky highway in their above their head. And also, even if they want to complain, they don't know where to complain and who to complain. And for me, unfortunately, I know where to complain. But every single complaint I've filed, I'm telling you, it's not one single flight. It's hundreds of flights in one single day, and it's valid for every day. Yeah. And in addition, yeah, I've heard a lot of, you guys are present, you want to growth, you want to maximize everything, the resource you have. But you guys need also to consider people's life. Because if you do not consider people's life, the life quality just below the aircraft, this wouldn't work. This will definitely wouldn't work. Like Jane has mentioned, yeah, everybody is suffering, and everybody will try to voice this out. Thank you.
Amazing. Okay, then two. Robert Holbrook.
My comments speak to gathering and reporting noise so that you guys can get better insight into what's going on. In terms of gathering information, it's difficult to file a report with the San Jose Airport. A much easier interface is an app that's being used throughout the peninsula called stopjetnoise.net. It provides a one-click interface that captures all the information, and it really is one click. You have the interface up, you press the button, and you've filed a complaint. San Francisco accepts that data, and they use the same backend that your systems use. And I'm told by the developer it's relatively simple, and he's even contacted your office about trying to get that data uploaded into your system so you can get that. So I would ask that you direct your department to capture that information. Now, what's going on? The FAA has followed the recommendation of the RTCA to reduce the separation between airplanes. That causes problems with the weight of the airplane, because if the airplanes follow too close with each other, it'll get disturbed. Technically, three things can be done to reduce the effects of weight separation, weight turbulence. One is to lower flights, two is to speed them up, and three is to concentrate them. Your data has captured one of those three things. We need to see data that shows the other two, the lower altitudes and the faster speeds. Speed increases noise at the 6th power of velocity. So reducing the speed to the limits at Zorsa before next-gen would have the impact, in my calculations, of raising the altitude by 1,000 feet above Zorsa.
Thank you. Olive.
Hi, my name is Olive Kwong. I'm a resident of Sunnyvale. I live directly under a waypoint. I wanted to share a story of what it is that brought me here today. Because frankly, we've all been following it on Nextdoor. We've been following it on the news. What really brought me here today is over Halloween weekend, I was throwing a party in my backyard. My 3-year-old son, who loves planes, the moment he sees one in the air, he points at it, he says, airplane, airplane. He doesn't say that many words yet, but airplane is one word that he does know. He loves them. Airplanes kept flying over our house to the point where he started crying and saying, airplane loud, mommy, airplane loud. That is why I'm here today as a mother of a 3-year-old son. And I understand that there are a lot of different regulatory agencies that come to bear on the situation at hand. And I understand your point trying to say that the FAA has sole responsibility. But it is just so convenient for you to be able to sit there and say that FAA has sole responsibility, and then in the exact same meeting also be talking about future growth plans for the airport. How can you possibly say that you have the ability to judge future growth plans and plan for that future growth, coach additional flights from San Francisco and Oakland, and say that you have no responsibility to the people who have to bear the brunt of what it is that you're making decisions on?
Yep, I'm with you.